watching the News at 5 on KSEE 24.
Well, Ron Paul was no fan of presidential rival Newt Gingrich, and he's not afraid to let people know that. This comes a day after releasing a harsh web video attacking Gingrich. Congressman Paul called the former House Speaker a, quote, flip-flopper who's getting a free ride on changing his positions. In New Hampshire, Paul told reporters that Gingrich's fast-rising candidacy deserves more scrutiny. As for Herman Cain, the congressman thinks his policies are reason enough for the businessman to exit the race.
Two Fresno police dispatchers were honored today. The International Public Safety Organization honored Tricia Nichols and Nancy Herr. Nichols was honored for her work during the call of a 2-year-old being mangled to death by a dog. Nichols helped the family by starting a fundraiser. And Herr was honored for a 911 call from a boy who reported someone stealing cans from his yard. She helped the boy find a safe place until help could arrive.
Well, coming up after the break, we will delve more into today's weather situation and find out what things look like on the horizon.
Hopefully, things are going to calm down for us. AJ will have the forecast next.
From the KSEE 24 Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox.
Well, we definitely need a couple of calm days so that we can clean up this mess.
That's right. AJ, the worst is behind us, apparently.
Well, careful what you wish for, because what will change is, yes, the wind dies down, but now the cold air has a chance to establish itself, and frost is going to be one of our big issues. Let's take a look at our current temperature, which is now 52, so it has dropped off significantly. Remember, our high was 69 today, dew point of 38, and now the wind is out of the southeast, less than 10 miles per hour, which is better than what we saw earlier in the day. So we had some fairly strong winds. This is the cause. This low-pressure system that we have in Southern California is the root cause of everything. It has drawn all of that wind through Southern California, causing the mono wind event for us in the valley floor and at the higher elevations, as opposed to what I saw on cable news earlier. They're calling it Santa Ana winds. Santa Ana winds is not what happened today. They're caused by high pressure and cause that warm, dry, fast wind to move across Southern California. It happens in the fall, but it's related to high pressure rather than the low pressure that we're having to deal with. According to Futurecast, the system moves on. We then have an established cold air system coming through. So we still have the wind advisory. It's in effect officially till 6, so it's dying down, but the high wind warnings over the Sierra Nevada until 4 tomorrow morning. So higher elevations still have strong winds to deal with, and now the frost starts to establish itself. We have frost advisories, at least in some parts of the valley, but it might spread tonight. 20-mile-per-hour winds still in Merced. That's part of why we're still having to deal with this advisory, but our high temperatures tomorrow will be mainly upper 50s, maybe lower 60s, like Coalinga at 60 degrees, but look at all these lows, 31, 32, 30, 30. Very chilly out there tomorrow morning, and look at winds right now in Lemoore. Barely 6 miles per hour, no wind in Hanford whatsoever, and 29 for a low there. Corcoran 29, 28 the low in Lemoore. So definitely we're going to have some frost and very likely some colder mornings ahead of us this weekend. 79-mile-per-hour winds still in Yosemite, 30 in Shaver Lake, 33 Sequoia National Park, 31 in Mariposa, and tomorrow expect temperatures to range from the 30s to mid-50s at higher elevations. Air quality mainly good, but barely in the moderate range in Tulare and Kern counties. And your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by the Allergy Institute is going to stay very low, especially on the frosty mornings, and then it's staying low into Monday of next week too. So tonight, calming down, 34 will be the overnight low. Light winds, we'll have light winds tomorrow too, and officially cooler than, quite a bit cooler than where we were today, because we're not going to have that mono wind event. So 58 degrees is all we can expect. Over the next 7 days, the morning lows, especially this weekend, 32 in Fresno, and that means easy to the mid-20s in outlying areas, 31 on Sunday. We start to gain a little ground, not much, but a little bit warmer for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and even into Thursday of next week. But it is very likely that we're going to have several days of frost, especially in the outlying areas. So this is we're going to trade one bad situation for potentially another. Now back to you.
All right, AJ, thank you. Still to come tonight, countries around the world are marking World AIDS Day.
And that includes many here in people here in the Valley, how local residents are raising awareness.
You're watching the News at 5 on KSEE 24.
This is World AIDS Day, a day to remember the more than 34 million people who are HIV positive or who have AIDS. There is good news on this day that the number worldwide is at the lowest level since 1997. But living with AIDS, even here in Fresno, still has its challenges.
It was big, scary moments. I thought it was going to be the end for me.
That was the moment Victor Maldonado's life changed dramatically. He was diagnosed with full-blown AIDS. It was not the end, but the beginning of a struggle to survive and educate others.
I do speak my mind about my status because I don't think it's a crime. I'm living it, and I think that if I do speak about it and educate others, there'll be a better understanding on it.
Enlightening others is Victor's mission, and that of Fresno's The Living Room, which provides services to local AIDS patients. Program coordinator Tony Harrison says they strive to remember those who lost the fight, celebrate those who are living it, and educate the rest who are at risk.
50% of the people diagnosed with HIV and AIDS are women. There is a growing concern that in ethnic communities, women are being diagnosed more and more.
2,000 people have been diagnosed with HIV and AIDS in Fresno County. 800 have died. Harrison says the disease carries many stigmas, making it difficult for those diagnosed to find jobs, even a place to live.
This is one of the areas where we actually give lunches on Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
The Living Room provides meals to AIDS patients and the hope for survival.
Keep taking your medications on a daily basis. You can survive from it. Here I am since '93 and I'm still standing, which is a blessing.
World AIDS Day will be marked in Fresno tonight with a special event at the Tower Theater. It's free and includes entertainment, food, speakers, and a reading of names of those affected by HIV.
Coming up next, we'll take another quick look at the weather. Stay with us.
And let's get a last look at the windy conditions with AJ.
All right, we have a couple of advisories we just want to quickly go through. Wind advisory is set to expire at 6 p.m. We also have the high wind warning that will expire tomorrow at 4 a.m. and the frost advisory on the valley floor from midnight until 9 a.m. Now back to you.
Check out our website, KSEE24.com. We have a lot of photos posted from viewers with their storm damage.
More on the weather coming up at 6.
KSEE 24